Good. So, uh, after yesterday's discussion about theater teachers and other stuff, I received a flood of email with consideration. Most of them, I might say, all of them, are really generous towards this idea of putting on the this online, the Tit Sin Kuen, and sharing the Tit Sin Kuen with the word. And I really thank you. This incredible number of email, private messages on Facebook, also some guys that send me the WhatsApp. How did you find my cell phone? I don't know, but okay, thanks. And I really try to reply to most of you if there are questions that can be replied briefly. I do not have really the time to reply to each one of you. I try to put the topics that you suggest in these videos that they can stay there, be there for the future. And so I hope that this will be useful in the future. Somebody noted that after my idea of putting online the Tit Sin Kuen of Master Chan Hon Chung, a lot of other ideas of putting online stuff and sharing Tit Sin Kuen came up, and I cannot be but very happy about this, because I think that sharing is good, and that the more we'll share, the more we put of making the more we'll make stuff available online, the more the knowledge, the real knowledge, will be online, the less the poor knowledge or the patched knowledge or the known knowledge will lose space. It's a way of using a different way of using the bridge P. crowd the space with good stuff. And so I'm very happy that everybody is doing his best to put online the good Hung style. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. And so one of the most interesting requests I received, and I want to spend some time today about it, is okay, you say that we need to revise our forms, our Hung style, according to the principle that we learn or understand with the Tit Sin Kuen. But how? How come? I mean, we've been taught to do certain movements, and we've been taught to understand certain movements, to find a certain explanation to certain movements, and to apply these certain movements in a way that is very close, as much close as possible to the form. So, wonderful question. My opinion is that the more you train the form, the more you understand that the movements are not stereotyped, frozen gestures of a ballet, but are actual just suggestions for approaching a real combat situation, a real one. I mean, just not a ballet, not sport fight, not the tournament with the gloves, with you can hit here but not too strong, hit there. A real fight for survival, which is all martial arts are about, which is something that we are not likely going to meet, but it can happen. And then also we are saying that training with this idea will be very good for physical, mental integrity. So it's really interesting, and I wanna, instead of using too many words, I wanna just show you how you can approach this work of rereading and rediscovering the forms that you know and that you've been practiced for a long time, and try to understand how to reread them under the wonderful, the clear, the powerful light of Tit Sin Kuen. The good thing is trying to understand the bridges that are hidden, because the bridges are everywhere. From the first move of Mui Fa Kuen, there's bridges, and the bridges are everything. Hung Kuen is all about the bridges. And so let's go and start and see how we can understand how to discover the bridges, and how to add some more consciousness to our training of the force. Okay, I ask you to forgive me. I didn't have the time to warm up, so I will do things slowly, because I don't want to hurt myself with fast movements, and today I was very late, so usually I try to warm up a little, but I do it. So for this part of our streaming, I will use the Kung Chi Fu Fu Kuen, and I'll do it this side so you can see what I'm thinking of. So you know the part where at the beginning in the Kung Chi part, where we go with the tigers, and then we go back, and then we go again with the tigers, and then we bring the horse back into his place, and then we go with something like that we've been taught, or that usually people do like this, and they go there, and then they block something, and then 1, 2, and then there's another block, and then there is this hit, and then you bring it back and double blow, and then again back, and then this, okay, and then this, and then this. Okay. So this is a wonderful part of Ong Jie Fu Fu, okay? And we've been training it millions of times, okay? And this is exactly how it was taught, but not so rigidly as I'm doing now, because I'm cold, but you know, it was like okay. So let's reconsider each move at the light of Tit Sin Kuen. From here, what is this? Let's see. Where are the bridge hidden here? We'll start with this. Bum, bum, bum. So this is just, to me, it's ding. So load your spring ready to spring out, and it is just like, you know, bam, 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 bam. So and this is just one thing, you know. So we find ding. Well, there's always also obviously yao, so it's hard and soft. That's everywhere. But here specifically is ding. Okay. Then from this, okay, ding, bang, bang, we go on. So let's think this. This has been explained as you block and kick, and then you block an hammer blow, and you hit at the throat of the opponent. So that's good for practicing the form. I think that this way of learning the form is good, because it, you know, gives you very strict parameters for for understanding the form and training it, repeating it until it's perfect, like that. But do you really think that the old guy, Wong Fei Hung or whatever he was, thinks that the opponent is so gentle, so available, helping us? So he gives us a kick that we can easily block, and then he stays there, just waits for us to recover from this thing where we stop, because I hear bang, everybody of us does a bang, so this the energy, the movement is finished, and then he gives us something like that, and he does it without covering his throat, so we can easily, block his blow and hit his neck. Well, I think in this case it's very nice, but usually opponents don't do that. So where's the point? The point is that after this, there is a wonderful idea of one that is, bring out and reflect. And also there is the idea of Chung, because what we do will be, it will, it's just one, it doesn't wait for a low kick or whatever. It just deflects the opponent and loads the spring and goes back with a thrust that is che. It's a long thrust. Okay, so let's start doing it again with doing this and then, okay. And this is not the way you will show your cognitive Vulcan in a demonstration, because you will be very nice in doing this properly. But here's what you have in your mind under the light of Tit Sin Kuen about performing it. There's loads. This is it. Again, same thing. Boom. It's exactly the same thing. It's again one and back. And it's one and back, and there's always this idea of P. So enter the space, okay? But even better is the last part, okay? So with this, we go back again, and we do 1, 2, 3, okay? This is wonderful, because we have this idea of not retreating, but changing the distance with the opponent to put him out of balance, but it's not a retreat, because you keep your play space occupied, Then you go in. This is the idea of the old man. The idea is that, okay, I am here, he's there, he's aggressive, we put him, he has a certain distance, he has decided that this is gonna hit our face. We just change a little bit our distance, but then we go with a wonderful P in his guard, Whatever he's doing, we'll put our power that comes from the elbows in his guard. We'll we're hoping fun while doing fun, and then we go with Chung. How many bridges we've seen. So, it's just this is it. And this is just one of it's a small example to give you an idea about how you can, yourself, with your partner, discussing it, training it, you can, understand what the old guys wanted to tell us when they asked us to train 1 million times. This is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful ballet. But if you don't go further, if you don't reconsider it, if you don't rethink it and apply it in a situation, but beware, not to forget about the idea of the guys does this, and then I go this, and then he does this, and then he block this, and then he does another thing, and I block and hit. It's not that. It doesn't. It exists in your imagination, but it doesn't exist in your strategy. Your strategy is stronger than anything you might do, because if you're, here, you just put him out of balance. If he decided to hit your face, here, you change 2 centimeters, that can be enough, but then you go in. And you keep destroying this strategy. And these are the bridges of the home style, which are a treasure. The real treasure is not the forms, the masters, the tradition, the heritage, the si Sin Kuen. The real value, the goal of this style is the 12 bridges, but you have to carefully search for them, investigate and find them in the forms. And you can really start from Muifaki. That's wonderful bridges in Muifaki. Wonderful. That's your homework for the next 10 years. Let's go to our Tit Sin, and we'll just put a few movements of the first part and start the 6th part. That will be very easy. So I think in a couple of streams we can complete it, and in a few times you'll be self-sufficient and we'll be able to start working on it. Okay? So as usual, let's send away the bad air. Right? Sing the elbows. Oh. Hey. Bah. Oh. Hey. Ta. Note in this part, beginning and end, the right hand was below. It will be important to remember for the 6th part. Okay? First translation. Open your waist. Intention, hearing, intention, sight, waist center of gravity. Hey. And center of gravity, etc. We'll start. Okay, again, I hear that guy is coming. I put my intention there. I open this way, but my intention and my hips are already creating a triangle there. Hey. Again, here, intention. Strong. This is a 10. Bridge. Take. Etc. Then we have the fourth part, where again we start. This is the beginning, but the left hand is below. Oh, center of gravity. Right? I remember the P bridge here. Oh. Wow. Oh. Right. Same thing on the other part. Right hand below. Oh, this is, I do it because it's so good. Hey, this translation is just wonderful. There's everything inside here. Hey, and here, please remember, do not go back as I see. This is fun. This is P. There's a bunch of bridges, you know. It's hey. And then again you crowd and your P becomes more powerful, you know. Oh, again, move from here, hey, and then back here, etc. And we reach back our basic frontal position before the fifth part, we've just finished, where we go to the unicorn step that we've seen is very close to the celestial, immortal drunk man. So we'll move our center of gravity, but remember to put the attention. I mean, you do not need to actually turn so much. The important thing is intention. So it's attention, intention, and sight. Then the very tail of your eye, and it's just nothing. Okay, so it's there, but this is just while changing, shifting your center of gravity. There and there. Hey. Let me go back a little. Take. Right. Oh. Right. Now we'll go the other way, the same exact. The manus comes from here, okay? So we'll Hey. Ten. Hey. Oh. Hey. Ta. And now we go back to center, and same thing. The menace comes from here. You always need to have an attack line to work on, okay? This central, this is now we're approaching the sixth part that you probably will recognize. And just remember that this part has a lot to do with the Siu Lam Tao from the first form of Wing Chun, because it works frontally all around the central line. This does not mean that you are flat. Remember, even when you're doing this, there's always small movement and adjustments that always tend to stay around the center line if I exaggerate them. They're just an idea, maybe more mental than physical, but there's always, the idea of skipping the attack line, okay? So we're here, and this time with the left hand below, we'll go oh, right? Wow. Okay. On this part looks the same as the beginning. It's not. It's all a matter of how you are. When you start Tit Sin Kuen, you kind of warmed up enough, but you are really you're cold. I mean, you are. It's more. The idea is more conscious. The more you go on with the form, or if you do it 2 times, 3 times, the more you get into those rhythm, its rhythm, and the more you feel it. And so usually you'll see, especially the first time you practice, the last time is way different from the first time you do the central thing. So just put more your attention, and every time consider several aspects. My opinion, the most important aspects of the frontal lines is the idea of working around the attack line, of the opponent, because this gives you also when you do this, when you go down and you do like, people say that this is for adjusting. No, this is fight. This is just getting into the position for fight stance. Ready to do whatever you need to do. And going down, it's really fighting, because you go, if you adjust, you're just working around the combat line. And this is how to use your Tit Sin Kuen for bringing your home style at a higher, much higher level, which is the level of understanding. It's not the level of just executing, mimicking, and moving from the idea of creating opponents that do what you need to do to receive for doing your technique. So you want a straight punch in your nose so you can go around with it with the hot tray, the first wing, which is actually is a wing. Everybody calls it the pick of the crane, but actually is the wing, because this is all the wings of the crane, and this is just an idea, but the real thing is the wings. And so you ask for a straight punch, and so you go around, and then the punch must be just one and straight, so the bad guy needs to wait for you, and so this. Okay, you move from this situation to this attitude, from this way of training, the way of training where all your movements are produced to gain control of the situation in spite of what the opponent will do, and this is exactly the level where your Tit Sin Kuen starts having a meaning, because before it's just a form as another. You can say that's it's bad for the health, and that's all you do not practice it badly because it hurts yourself. It's just for the ultimate. It's a form. But it's a form that goes to close the circle, the first circle of your training of the own style, and brings you to the point where you understand that in a real combat situation, your goal, you will win if you gain control. And Tit Sin Kuen doesn't teach you to gain control. Tit Sin Kuen gives you some instruments, some reading keys for understanding how to take control of the situation. That's it. And that's how you can have fun and enjoy and be productive if you train it in a correct way. Or if you are not up to the standards, as I often said, just use it to understand and your forms and do them as better and improve them, and evolve them into this idea of gaining control. So thank you for joining this pleasant conversation about the Hung style. I hope you find it useful and you enjoy it. And so I see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear the mask, stay home if you really do not